In this lecture, we will talk about the control of thirst mechanism or the stimuli which will increase or decrease thirst mechanism. In our last lecture, we discussed the importance of thirst in controlling the plasma osmolarity or the extracellular osmolarity, as well as the sodium plasma sodium concentration. So, to start or stop the thirst mechanism, there are different stimuli, and there are some stimuli which will increase thirst, and there are some stimuli which will decrease thirst. So, the first stimulus which will increase thirst is the osmolarity, which we have discussed in so much detail that whenever the sodium concentration increases as compared to the water concentration in the plasma, this increase in osmolarity will lead to increase in thirst, which will lead to the increased drinking of water, and a lot of drinking of water will decrease the concentration of sodium in plasma, and ultimately the osmolarity will decrease and the thirst mechanism will subside or stop. Now, another thing is the decrease in blood pressure and the blood volume. Now, this thing has also been discussed in detail in our previous lectures, that the cardiopulmonary the cardiopulmonary reflexes, the reflexes that are coming from the heart and the lungs in the aorta through the baroreceptors, they come into the hypothalamus through the AV3V area, and they also start the thirst mechanism, they activate the thirst mechanism. So decrease in blood volume and decrease in blood pressure will stimulate the thirst mechanism, which will lead to drinking water and ultimately replenishing the volume in increasing helping in increasing the blood pressure. We have discussed these things in so much detail. Now, another thing is the angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2. So the angiotensin 2, it gets activated. Its level in the body increases whenever there is decrease in blood pressure and blood volume. Now, the increase in thirst mechanism with the help of decrease in blood pressure and decrease in blood volume is independent of this change in osmolarity. Now, the osmolarity may not change, but if there is a decrease in blood pressure or there is a decrease in blood volume, it will lead to increase in angiotensin 2, and angiotensin 2, it then comes and act somewhere on the thirst centers in the brain, and it stimulates the thirst mechanism and then leads to drinking water. Finally, dryness of mouth. The dryness of mouth is also a stimulus for stimulating the drinking or thirst mechanism. This is a short term relief, like the whenever someone drinks water, there is a little bit relief in the thirst when the dryness of the mouth goes away, although the water that has been drunk has not reached into the blood, and the concentration, the osmolarity has not decreased, the blood pressure has not increased, the blood volume has not recovered, but only the dryness of mouth goes away, so the thirst mechanism subsides for a short interval of time. The true thirst mechanism will stop only when the normal osmolarity of plasma has been achieved and the blood pressure and the blood volume has been restored. Now, whenever these mechanisms are reversed, these stimuli will decrease thirst. For example, increase in osmolarity will increase thirst, and on the other hand, the reverse is also true. A decrease in osmolarity, plasma osmolarity, will decrease thirst. The decrease in blood pressure, decrease in blood volume increases thirst. On the other hand, when the blood volume is restored towards the normal and the blood pressure increases towards the normal, the thirst mechanism, the thirst process, the drinking process subsides and the thirst decreases. Similarly, when the blood pressure increases, the blood volume restores, it decreases angiotensin 2 in the body. Angiotensin 2 then comes and acts on the nervous system, on the brain in different parts, especially on the thirst center, and then it decreases the thirst mechanism. Sorry, angiotensin 2, when it is high in concentration, it will activate thirst, but when its concentration decreases, so its stimulus for increasing the thirst will go away, so ultimately there is a decrease in thirst and there is a decrease in drinking water. Finally, distension, the gastric distension, the distension of the stomach also leads to decrease in thirst. Now, this thing has been seen in the animals in whom the blood, the water will pass through the GI tract, but it will not get reabsorbed. Now, just passing of the water will decrease the thirst for some time. Similarly, in the human being, if a balloon is inflated in the stomach, it will decrease thirst. Now it will decrease thirst, but this mechanism is short term. Now the true decrease in thirst will occur only when the osmolarity has been normalized, the blood volume, blood pressure has been normalized. So these are different stimuli or different mechanisms through which the thirst mechanism is controlled. Thanks a lot for watching the video.